Turn back the clock to early 2020. Scary, I know. It's unsafe to leave the house, and as such, it's been months since you got a proper haircut. You're left with two choices: keep letting it grow out, or attempt to cut it yourself. At this point, I was someone who hadn't cut their hair in 6 months and was used to short hair, so I took the plunge, with not bad results, until I tried cutting the top. I did not let my unfortunate fringe deter me. I persevered and practiced, and in over 5 years, I haven't paid for a single haircut. I believe that learning to cut your hair is beneficial as a useful and convenient set of skills, an outlet for expression, and as a calming hobby. Cutting hair can be simple, but if you really want to customize and shape your hair, learning to do it yourself provides a wider repertoire of techniques to work with, such as layering, tapering, and point cutting. Learning these techniques yourself will also help you understand the overall process of haircutting more, meaning that if you do decide to go to the salon, it's easier to communicate what you want to your stylist. When you cut your own hair versus someone else's, there's also a need to employ creative problem solving. After all, it's different cutting someone else's hair versus cutting your own in the mirror. For example, one of the main problems I had was cutting the hair on the back of my head since I couldn't see it. The solution I found was turning my back to the bathroom mirror and using a hand mirror to see the back of my head, similarly to how barbers show the back of the head at the end of an appointment. Now, I can also assume that most of you have experienced going to a barber or salon and paying quite a bit for a high quality one. According to CNN, the average price of a haircut for men in 2024 was $50, and for women it was an even higher $75. And even that is a low estimate, as some of my peers have spent upwards of $80 to $100 for a haircut. For that price, you can buy some clippers, some scissors, and a spray bottle and save on repeated trips to the salon. But cutting and styling hair is more than a matter of practicality. Hair holds cultural and societal importance in how we express ourselves and identify ourselves. Scholar Deborah Pergament argues that our hairstyles affect how we present ourselves in terms of traits such as age and gender identity, and how we can identify with these groups. Furthermore, hair can even be a form of revolution. During the 1960s and 70s, for example, many African Americans intentionally grew out their hair and wore them in their natural styles and textures. This was an act of defiance towards discrimination against these hairstyles in the workplace, an issue that persists even today. Being able to cut your own hair gives you more direct control of this avenue of self-expression. Beyond self-expression, cutting your own hair can be a very calming experience. As you practice cutting your hair and improving, I found that each part of the process becomes a simple, repetitive set of steps. First sectioning, then cutting each section methodically, and finally inspecting the whole head for the finishing touches. According to a paper by Gutman and Schindler on occupational therapy, repetitive activities such as these can have beneficial physiological effects such as lowering heart rate. For me, cutting my hair has become a slow and thoughtful routine, with setting out my shears, my clippers, my guards in ascending order or length, and my spray bottle. I then pull out my small Bluetooth speaker, and the moment I turn on the haircutting playlist, the world around me disappears, and it's just me and my hair for the next hour. The music I play also helps me get into a rhythm that keeps my cuts consistent, snipping the scissors to the beat of the song that's playing. So now that you know the convenience, creative outlet, and calm that cutting hair can provide, one question remains: where do you even begin? Based on my experience, it's best to start small. If you had short hair like I did, just cut the sides and back with clippers before moving to the scissor cutting. And for long hair, good news, you can skip straight to the scissors. Once you're ready to scissor cut, get used to combing your hair into different sections, trimming a small amount at a time from each part in bite-sized chunks. You can establish your own pattern to it. Normally I take the sides, then back, then the crown of the head, and finally the front. It won't be easy, but it takes time, and even cutting off so little hair that you barely notice a difference is great, as long as it helps you practice holding your hair and cutting it. Plus, taking the risk of cutting your hair is a win-win. If your hair turns out crap, then your excuse is, well, I cut it myself. And if people are impressed, then you can say, thanks, I cut it myself.